Okay, so we're gonna be checking out Ship Graveyard Simulator 2, which I should be posting stuff on here, but it's fine. This is me dealing with streamer stuff while recording. Switching to Ship Graveyard Simulator 2. Alright, and the reason I'm doing this is because we got keys from the devs. It looked interesting. I was like, what the heck? But my understanding with Ship Graveyard Simulator 2 is we will go into busted up ships, i.e. the ones you see over there, and we will take them apart and salvage their stuff. So it gives sort of Hardspace Shipbreaker vibes in the, you look at this thing, it's this big metal thing, and you go, okay, how do I take it apart? Okay, well, here's the structural pieces. Okay, maybe I cut here and here. Okay, I take these things apart. I don't think it's going to have the things where you have to like take full fuel tanks and out that, but I don't know. I don't know if it has any type of overlying story. I don't think it will, other than you salvage that. Maybe it'll have a thing like, oh, you're working at this to work off your debt. But I don't think it's going to be a very story-heavy game. With all that said, the first thing we're going to do is we pop into every game, is we are going to check out the access play stuff. The sound is working, but the click sounds nice, and you have a wiki button? Okay, remind me to push L when we go into the game, that they have a wiki button. Because I am very curious what a wiki button does. I'm partly expecting it to pull an in-game browser up, which would be impressive because it's a pain to set up, that opens their wiki. I am going to set my max frame rate here. Let's see. Motion blur very high. No, gross. Get rid of it. Never. So we do have accessibility options here. The big one there is motion blur. Game devs everywhere. Why? Why do you want motion blur? I don't understand the obsession with motion blur. I don't know anyone who likes motion blur. Oh, that field of view is not comfy. I feel like I'm halfway looking through a fisheye lens. Oh, jeez. How fast are you driving on the dirt road? Alright. People with motion sickness. Not a good game for you on the intro. We'll see when we actually get in the game. The intro, like, the field of view choice is weird. The going along the side of the car with the background moving so harsh is not gonna be a good time if you get motion sickness. The head camera moving all over the place. Yeah, the intro, that'll be a solid D or an F if you're motion sickness. Do you want to play the tutorial? Why are my hands looking like I just got back from murdering someone? No, hi. What? Okay. Oh, these are some very interesting decisions. Press the wiki button. That was L? Okay, I mean, you know what? I wouldn't call it a wiki, but you know what? Fair enough. I would call it like the tutorial section or the hints. Still, I do appreciate that they don't just go, you know, like you don't have like the block of text that's like, get the hammer, break the rivets or whatever. It has an animation. So, you go, devs. We need to talk about your field of view. We need to talk about, like, look at the movement of these arms, and this dude is hauling. This dude is power walking with intent. And your sound balancing is really a thing. Do you really want to buy the $0 ship? Yes, that sound... Okay. Hang on. I've got to do something about this audio. Because... Oh boy. Do you think it's effects? I'm gonna go with effects. Oh, we're going to take those gritty steps there. I'm having this bad feeling. It's gonna be one of those games that, like, there's a dozen sounds that just don't respect the audio settings. So, buys a ship for $0, immediately gets fined for leaking toxic fluid. Ah, a ship. For the record, this is the tutorial. Okay, so that did lower the volume. All right, first piece of second piece of feedback, because we had the motion blur was 1. Like, the motion sickness, that should be 1. Interesting. That time, it doesn't have me... Okay, so we can pick up stuff, and we can throw them. I appreciate that I can just grab the universe in my hands. Throw 20 kilograms in the truck. Oh, thank you for the guide. Blue connectors. Construction elements are held together by connectors. To get them, you must break the connectors first. Press left click to hit, press right click to bonk. Okay, so 2. So what's a bonk? Okay, so we break the rivets with the hammer. I'm going to turn up the music here in a moment. Alright, so bonk. Okay. Let's adjust. Yeah, so the audio... Oh, man. Gonna make you 35%. Cut the effects down more. Yeah, so my other comment is just you need to do, like, the devs, you need to mess with your audio a little bit. It's just volume stuff. Bonk. I'm assuming we, like, level up or get better equipment as time goes on. You know, shouldn't I be taking this apart from the top? For the record, when we messed... This is the one we messed with the demo of. Like a really early access demo of during Steam Next Fest. That this tutorial was the entire game. This is the early access version, I believe. I think this is early access. I don't even know anymore. It may or may not be early access. I'd have to look it up. But yeah. There's also something about this. I don't know if this is how they do it in real life. I feel like it'd be more scientific than this, or at least more... Like, you know, maybe drill the rivets out or something? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, I mean, you'd probably get a power tool, let's be honest. Too much weight. So I can carry 100 kilograms. Like, I don't know anything about salvaging ships. That said, the idea of going to like welding points, rivets or whatever, and just bashing them with a hammer again and again until they give, and then taking apart... Okay. I was not expecting the everything to fall on me. Oh, I think it auto-aims. Looks like they have full version and a full version. I think this is the full version now. There are different types of connectors. Each needs a specific tool. Yellow connectors get broken with the saw. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm seeing... If we look at our tools on the right there, I'm hitting 3. I would like to... There we go. So, for one... Weirdly, I wasn't allowed to use 3 for a moment there. So, I'm guessing what happened was I destroyed the support for a bunch of stuff, and then it all came down on my head. Okay, so that just homes in. I appreciate that. Okay, so that's what those ones... Ah, so after I've thrown stuff, it looks like it's bugged that it doesn't switch tools right. That's fine. Look at that blade turn red. I'm now tempted to try and take this thing apart from the bottom as much as possible. Just to see if I can collapse stuff on my head. It's definitely the way you should approach life. Bonk. Man, oh, sorry. What I was mentioning before is if you notice on the far right, I've got like my hands, the hammer, and the saw. That it looks like there's little bars on them. And you need to push down the part. It's too heavy. Can I throw it from here? Okay, cannot. Ah, got you. So if I'm anywhere in the direction of the truck, it does that. Throw 60 kilograms in the truck. My courier. Challenge accepted. Torch. The last type of connectors are red connectors, which get broken with a torch. Okay. Alright, so I got it. So first, you definitely stand directly under whatever you're disassembling. Safety first. Oh, that's not the right one. I wish torches cut this fast. Then you destroy another red connector. All right. So I'll definitely say, well, the music's, there's nothing wrong with it. It is, not the most engaging. See, now I tried, I'm tired and my brain is trying to work. I can totally see myself playing this. Yeah, like, this is absolutely something I could see playing. It still has, like, how would I put it? So it's got some stuff that feels like Hardspace Shipbreaker, where it's like, okay, I've got to go through, you know, the various bits and baubles to, you know, take things apart. at the same time, like, it doesn't seem to have any kind of story to it. It's definitely not taking itself too seriously. It also looks like the fact that I have to buy the things I'm going to salvage, which means there's going to be some kind of idea that I have to try and get, you know, at least a certain amount of money out of what, the thing. Okay, so we have this. Now, granted, it doesn't have the Hardspace Shipbreaker sci-fi giant cutter tool and tethers, which definitely is a miss. But at the same time, it's not meant to be that. I hope when we upgrade our tools, I get like an area pickup thing. So I'm about to take apart what is going to be some of the only remaining supports for this. So I really want that I take this apart and the whole thing comes tumbling down. Because that might be an interesting approach to making the game have its own, like, dynamic to it. Is if there is that whole idea of, if you plan out how you're breaking stuff, you could cause the entire thing to be unstable. Oh. Oh, the outer hull I can't do anything to. Alright. That's supporting a couple pieces, so let's break it. So is the idea that I'm doing this, that I'm like just salvaging like just raw metal. We're not worried about any other goodies in here. We're just like metal, you know, reclaim the steel. Okay. Yeah, so I am curious how much of a difference each tool upgrade makes, because it looks like there's 10 different icons, because it's not... I mean, at least I hope really bad it's not durability. Durability in the game like this would be, frankly, angering. I appreciate that arm. I want to see that bar where it says claim. I want to see it go up, because I assume that's what happens. Is it goes up, and then you get more money. Wait, hang on. Has my character been doing that work? Does that say $75 is what we've made doing this? Poor guy. I'm sorry. This kind of menial labor is worth more than 75 bucks. Especially considering there'd be a decent amount of risk here. Because you're dealing with like all sorts of like pitted and rusted metal. Some of the stuff wouldn't be that structurally sound. So you'd be working on it and just stuff could come apart. I don't really understand how this piece of metal is floating right now, but we'll just kind of look the other way. Yeah, so if you do destroy the support, stuff falls. Alright. I think we're going to the computer because I'm noticing it still said $75. Despite me continuing to put stuff in there. Where is the... Oh, it's way over here. Despite me continuing to put stuff in it. So I think it is just a tutorial. They're like, no, you can't... Like, next milestone, stop taking this apart. It's a tutorial. Of course, I'd say $75. And this is my workshop. You've got new quests. Okay, it's saying there's $0 left. I guess we scrap it. Complete the tutorial first. My friend, I see you got your first, let's call it, ship. I can see from here you may have gotten something I like. Bring me those items, and I'll give you a welcome gift. Low alloy steel, 100 kilograms. Claim. $10 have been transferred to your account. Nice. It does kind of look like Trevor from GTA. Drive to the sorting place. Oh, please, driving. Don't have the camera I saw earlier. That's all I ask. Do not have the camera I saw from earlier, because that might be a problem. Oh, this is... It's not what I was worried about it being, but this is real bubbly driving. Sorting place. In the sorting place, you'll sort pieces you retrieved from the ship. This allows you to sell specific materials in the shop and use them in your workshop. To sort items efficiently, ensure they are placed in the appropriate containers. You'll be rewarded extra money for efficient sorting. And if you speed up the process, by boosting. Oh, it's a minigame, I see. We're gonna get all this wrong because we don't have the knowledge we need to succeed. Yeah, so all this... I don't... Green? Why would this work this way? Why would this work this way? Cool. I got combo money bonus of $3.50 for a perfect sort. Heck yeah. This is still... Sell sorted stuff in the shop? Oh, okay. My bad. Oh yeah, no, it probably gets faster and like harder and all that. It's just logically outside of video game. Why would you make it that way? Shop. In the store, you can sell pieces that you already have been sorted from the ship. This will enable you to purchase larger ships and upgrade your tools. Cool. Well, that was definitely not English. I have no idea what you're saying. So I have no idea what to save. Give it all... We got liquids? I will sell all $49 and some change. Can I just do it more anyways? No, I can't. Okay, cool. Open the wiki with L. Okay, I looked at the wiki. Congratulations, you own Scrapyard. I see a blinking icon on the right side of my screen. Click if you stuck. Not nice. Click if you stuck, man. We unstuck you good. So I'm noticing a few things. We finished the tutorial, and I'm noticing a bunch of new icons. Like we have a radio. I have a rope? Wait, I have a grappling hook kind of thing? What? Neat. And bombs. I feel like some things were omitted from the tutorial. What I also notice is I have a blinking thing in the top. Alright, so you have a flashlight. You. Doesn't, maybe I don't have that. Nothing to scan. Camera, oh, the camera's stuck. Give me one moment, and we'll unfreeze the camera. Deactivate, activate, and okay. The grappling hook was so impressive the camera froze. Yeah. So what I'm not figuring out is I've got what I'm assuming, like over there, right above the hand, there's a blinking thing that implies to me that I have skill points or upgrades or whatever they're calling them. Because it's got a picture of like the wrenches, and then it's also got like +6. And I hit tab because it was like contracts. It says scanning nothing. So they showed me how to take apart a ship, but now I don't really know how to do everything. Let's go to the computer. They definitely like held your hand at the beginning and said, okay, figure it out from here, nerd. Alright. Okay, so cool. So we could take apart ships. Ships get really expensive. We have contracts and resources. But how do I do the +6 thing? How do I +6 thing? I'm assuming that's tool upgrades. I want the tool upgrades. I want a bonkening much better. I want a bonk. Okay, it's probably that wrench thing over there. I want a bonkening gooder. Tool shop. In the tool shop, you can purchase blueprints necessary to enhance your tools for more efficient dismantling the ship. Oh, I see. Sure, man. So I have 134 bucks. So we get slightly more damage and that. All right, sure, why not? Take my money. Items picking up. Items picking goes from 1 to 2. Pickup speed goes to 120%. More range. Alright, let's keep the last 50 bucks to buy a ship. A $50 ship. I feel like the quantities of money in this game don't really match up. I still have a 6+ thing. So we have the shop, which we sold stuff. We've got whatever we did, the tool building. What are you? Are you demolition? Fire? Workshop. In the workshop, you can use purchase blueprints to improve your tools. To do this, you need to have certain types of materials and the right amount of cash. I see. But what does the 6 mean? What does the blinking 6 mean? Let's check the wiki. Alright, so there's cable hazards, pipe hazards. Workshop, winch, rope, high explosives, I don't know. It means less than 5. You have materials for 6 upgrades? I mean, I sold all my materials. And it was blinking 6 before I did anything else. I didn't realize when I bought the blueprints I needed materials to actually make them. It kind of implied that, but it was also... It's very clear the devs of this, I don't think English is their first language, which is totally fine. Alright, so we have 50 bucks. So let's buy a 50... Well, actually, we'll just go for the next ship. By the fact that there are only scraps and pieces, you could tell the sea was really mad. Difficulty, 1 hammer. You have to scrap your current ship before buying a new one. So let's see how mad the ship... Oh, we probably have to pull the truck over there, don't we? Oh, good. It resets the truck. This is my truck, right? I can get in? There you go. Only the driver's side. Alright, we can park it right here. Perfect. Crane and walkie-talkie. Some items are too heavy to remove from the ship by yourself. Use the crane and take the items straight to the sorting yard. To do this, walkie-talkie to get rid of them. The sorting crane will give you a large amount of resources. Cool. Chip tube is what the marketplace is called? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Alright. Can I get under this easy? There is no crouch button as best I can tell. Okay, well, let's start banging on stuff. My hope is, since it does clearly look like you can break stuff from below, to go along the bottom and just collapse entire areas. Because that feels like an intentional design mechanic. Caution, oil. All right. For once, a game that the flashlight is not terrible. Wow. You go, man. Oh, good. No, never mind. I was about to be like, heck yeah, that's amazing. Would have made more money playing basketball. I mean, let's be real. You would have made more money just, like, asking people for money. Like, the amount we're being paid to do this is criminal. And I don't mean criminal figuratively, I mean actually criminal. I guess unless we're self-employed, at which point, no, seriously, like, you need to reconsider. And how is the saw still working? Look at the amount of corrosion and damage on the body of the saw. There is no way the electronics inside there are sound. Alright. So the interesting thing is it does seem like I could, middle of the ship, run over and upgrade my tools. All right. You know, all things considered, there's a like decent amount of effort in this game. Because you look, you got like all sorts of physics stuff set up. That's, you know, fine, whatever it is. And then top of that, you've got like a whole range of tools that all work differently. Like there's not a lack of effort here. Like don't get me wrong, it's like no like super duper AAA game or anything. But I have no idea how big the dev team is. It's definitely not bad. Now I have no idea like how much playtime you get into this, but we'll see. I do think it won't be very long before I get rid of the music. Let's see. I don't think sim game needs to be AAA. Very complete. Oh yeah, no, I agree. Like there's definitely a little jank here. Like I wish I could hold the E button and just move it over stuff. And my character, like I don't mind it taking time to pick it up, but like the mashing it constantly is kind of annoying. And that might be a lot of games that have had that kind of thing. Like if you think of like the Hotel Renovator, for example. It's just you get an upgrade like 2 seconds later. They, like make you pick it up for like the first place or two, and then after that you get an upgrade that's just like area of effect you hold E and it just grabs the whole thing. Let's see, the mini games can't be too annoying. Or it should be possible skip. Yeah. So like that sorting mini game, I don't mind that too much. It was nice and short. Like again, because I also don't know the replay value of the game. Like it could be one of those things you go through, you do like 10, 20 ships, and then you're done, at which point that mini game would be fine. If it is a game that you can like do tons and tons of ships and all that kind of stuff, I do kind of feel like, yeah, that mini game would get kind of old after a while. It is very satisfying to break a whole bunch of things and then hit the right click and just watch the whole side of the ship pop apart. So what are you supposedly attaching? Well, you made a loud noise. Let's say one game I like, gets annoying, is Medieval Destiny. It's super picky about what you can pick up with E. You must hold E to pick up. Often frustrating. Yeah. There you go. Alright, the top ones. It does make me think when you get to like the $2,000-3,000 ships. I'm guessing those are like gonna be the full-on ships. Oh, I see. So we have a bunch of contracts. That's curious. There's like televisions and such they want me to grab, toilets and whatnot. Interesting. So what I don't understand is what is all this? Is this just so underneath the ship, like where they have the whole thing where it's separated into chambers so it doesn't sink as easily? Because then if there's a breach, it only fills up one of the chambers. Is that what I'm taking apart right now? It's just the fact that like every 2 seconds I'm cutting through another wall. Not really understanding the design here. Not unlocked. All right. It makes a real impressive bang noise when I do that. I don't know if it's doing much of anything, but it does sound impressive. So I think one thing I'm learning is I should start from the side that the truck's on so I don't have to like run around and I have to throw stuff. In fact, let's be smart about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to huck this box. So what I'm learning is don't throw the box while you're running. Now I can run. What I'm going to do, though, is save myself some pain later. That way I don't have to poke around it to throw the stuff on the box. Or in the truck. Where's RimWorld? I play more than just RimWorld. Honestly, most streams, I spend half of it on one game and half of it on the other. So this stream, we spent half of it on RimWorld, which the colony's still going fine. And then I switched over to Desynced to try that out, which was fun. But I didn't want to kind of commit more time to it because, like, I see the appeal of Desynced, and I can definitely see playing a bunch more of it. But it's also one that feels like it's going to be a lot of time investment. And so now we're checking out the devs behind this game gave me a key. So we're checking it out. And it's got an interesting charm to it. It's gameplay is like a little like Hardspace Shipbreaker. There's like no story, there's some translation issues and all that. It's definitely not as polished. But like, you know, taking apart some ships. Wifey. I was gonna say that's responsible. You know, it is what it is.
It's not super responsible. Hi, Eonek. Hi, Burning Sun. Hi, Okaso. Yeah, it's not super responsible, but like, it could be worse.
Do you want to get a job salvaging old rusty ships?
Is it fine?
Oh, I missed.
You look dirty, so maybe not.
I mean, this is the entire ship we got. It said it had a rough time.
Your hands look pretty awful.
It looked that way before I started taking apart the ship.
Okay.
They loaded and you see the hands of like, did I just come from a murder? What?
Yeah, I know, it looks like blood. Maybe it's supposed to be rust, but it looks like blood. I'm like, did you get
Oh, it's
hurt
already
salvaging
broken.
this ship?
Yeah, and we've
whole
been...
$43.82? Oh.
Yeah, we took apart the entire first ship. It gave us like $75. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. You need to be doing something else with your life.
That's funny.
You're not getting paid enough for this.
That's funny. I love you the most.
I love you more. You just have to live with that.
You're the best.
No. So this seems to be like, so you have the outer shell on my right, whatever they call that. I don't know ship terms. The outer hull, and this seems to be like an access, like just like an access area between the outer hull. I don't know if like, I don't get the idea here, because like, if there was ever a maintenance problem here, how do you fix this? Like, how do you get in here? I assume you don't bang on the bang on the welds till they come apart and then saw the ship apart just to do basic maintenance on the entire bottom of the ship. It's simple. You don't maintenance? Ah, I understand. Oh, good. For a moment when I saw all the bottles, like, please don't make me pick those up one by one. Use an explosive to destroy the door. I mean, it looks like it could bang out the rivets around the door. Is that not good enough? From all ship movies I've seen, they send really skinny people, skinny/impossible people to crawl spaces with a hammer and a dream. I mean, I get that, but where's the crawl space? Like, this whole area, like, I had to cut through here, so this whole area was inaccessible. Oh, I could just go to the door and just go, ka-cha! That's actually a little underwhelming, honestly. Crawl space shipbreaker. I assume I can just trash the stuff around that. And it'll fall out. Like, maybe I won't be able to pick it up will be the catch. Yeah, use explosives to open. Who needs bombs? Okay, so that's... Alright, so we've got in here, we got this whole area. We've got another little area we can go through here. It's kind of interesting just exploring the edge of the ship just to find your way around kind of thing. I eagerly await my tool upgrades. All right. You bang it all metal stuff toilet, you just pick it up. All right. That's a mighty nice computer in there. What do you figure, an Apple II? All right. Maybe explosives could move you faster along. Yeah, my assumption is they would move you faster along, but then the consequences, you get way less money because you break a bunch of stuff. Be a pretty typical thing of these kind of games. Right, so I think we got like all the random debris out of here. Can you itemize the things you grab? I don't know what you mean. Like value-wise? Oh, I have no idea. All right. Fall damage breaks your legs. Not unlocked. Okay. So it wants me to find more plastic, but I don't know where. I am thinking this is going to be one of those ones that we're going to be able to tear down the bottom part of this, and the rest will just come apart. But we'll see. Alright. I do like that when you're breaking the rivets, it is like an area of effect, so you don't have to like break each and every single rivet. You kind of just break the segment, and the whole thing just comes apart. I just realized I've been moving around while throwing the boxes again. wonder what the maximum weight that thing can carry is. You want more wood. You want more aluminum. All right. So I wonder with those contracts if that's for this specific ship or just in general. Because I would like to upgrade my tools. Oh, hey, there's more junk in here. Right, that's probably gonna be the thing that we're gonna get the rest of the plastic from, is craning that out. Because it's still teaching us mechanics, so it gave us the crane and we haven't used it yet. And that big problem is it's inside the ship, so I gotta wait till that's done. Bunk. Now I see the benefit of working from the top down is you don't have to step out again. I moved. There's a weight limit on your truck. It only takes 2 seconds to be like, oh, it just like automatically aims at the truck. I can put like no effort and just huck it to immediately get yourself into the situation where you're not getting what you need out of it. All right. Okay. So I'm tempted to just run over to the shop and see if we can't buy any of the upgrades since we've been pulling this apart. Because I can only imagine, like, even if this thing's only a little faster, that'll make a huge difference for us. All right. I also think you're probably intended to claiming the upgrades the first time you walked out. Like, I sold everything. I think the idea was you were supposed to get, like, an upgrade or two. It almost doesn't matter what I upgrade. Like, almost anything would be good. I actually think the torch would be the one that I'd probably want the least. Because there's not as many torch places. Whereas, like, all the other stuff, like the hammer and all that, there's enough to take apart that you know, getting that little bonus and how fast you do it is just good. I also hope your tools, like, they have different textures or models or whatever every time you upgrade. So that way, like, you start with the, you know, the saw that looks like it shouldn't even work, but somehow does. And then, you know, at the end, you have what looks like, you know, a really high-end commercial saw that's in good shape. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. Alright. Okay. Oh, there's apparently a box laying on the ground. Okay. So I do see there's a total weight of the truck that right now we're at about 1,800 kilograms. I'm going to guess at 2,000 kilograms, I have to go and get rid of stuff. Just to kind of give you a cycle of going back, selling, doing upgrades, sorting, just kind of mix the game flow up. All right. Because that would give us an opportunity probably to upgrade our tools a level or two. All right. The breaking large sections at once is satisfying. I can only imagine you have like a really big ship, how much you can make that feel good. Alright. Nope, we can go over 2,000. Alright, well... The truck has to have a limit. The fact that it has a, figure there implies something. Okay. Because, like I said, I'm picturing in my head that once you get down to, like, one whack per set of bolts and all that, this probably gets ridiculous. They just kind of, like, disassemble the thing. But, I mean, not to this extreme, but Hardspace is kind of the same, that you start that, you know, your cutter would overheat constantly, so it really couldn't cut super fast. Like, the grapple gun could, like, only slowly drag things around and all that. Alright. I've also been watching to see if any of the contract stuff up there, if we'd find the last bit of plastic or whatever. Because then I'd go turn that in. I need more wood, I need aluminum, I need plastic. Alright. But yeah, so I don't think this would be a game... Like, stream-wise, I don't think this would be a game you could do long-term. Like, the pacing is plenty slow. There's not a whole lot here that's, like, grabbing attention. Which, you know, like, it's not that everything needs to be high energy or anything like that. But it would definitely be one that you'd kind of fall off real fast. It is one I could definitely see playing for a good while. So you just kind of get in that, you know, you've had a long day at work, you're tired, you don't want to think about things, you just want to, you know, come home and veg. So kind of like your, the Truck Simulator, American Farm, or not American Truck Simulator, Farm Simulator, Pressure Washer Simulator, like, kind of in those type of games area where it's just, you get home, you just do it. You don't have to think about it all, you just do it. I fall look this game? I don't know what you mean. I fall look like this. Alright. You fall asleep? I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't think this is a game... I don't think this is a game we play long-term on stream, I think. Like, we're at the point now, like, late enough in the stream, I wouldn't think we'd switch to another game, because by the time we got into it, it'd be time to wrap. So I'm just gonna go with it and see where this goes. Because I'm not... Like, I'm having a good time with it. But yeah. It's definitely not one that's gonna be returning to the channel, I don't think. But that's not unusual. If you play RimWorld, I can say for 10 years. So this is one thing, and I know you're kind of new here. This is one thing to learn about this channel, is I will never play just one game on the channel. Because I will just burn, like, it doesn't even matter what the game is, I will burn out. Like, I used to play ridiculous amounts of Project Zomboid. And it was actually to the detriment of the channel later that Zomboid started falling off in its viewership. And because, like, that's what I got known for, even though I did always play a variety of games, that, like, pivoting over to variety was a bit rough. Again, even though it's variety of stuff. But yeah, I won't... I've made it a thing. Let's see. What do you think of the last game? I enjoyed it. It is one of those games I feel like you could burn a lot of time in if you are into, like, leaning hard into, like, setting up automation. And we're not talking about, like, you know, the basic stuff. They have where you can kind of, like, program the units and all that. And I do think in the long run, you do need to do that to succeed in that game. So if you're someone who'd be into games like Screeps or whatever, where, you know, it's kind of software dev on top of it, like you like that kind of stuff, absolutely. If you're not into that, I don't think I would recommend it. Like, you probably have an okay time, but it definitely feels like they intend you to do the automation stuff as time goes on. Alright, one thing I'm doing is this music is just straight up repetitive. Like, it's not repetitive in a sense where you're like, oh my god, please go away. You know, music where it loops and then, like, the loop is kind of in your face. Like, it's enough of, like, background noise, like, just kind of back there that you don't really notice it. But, just as a content creator, like, you start to get self-conscious about those kind of things. You know, it doesn't hold people's attention, that kind of thing. Alright. But yeah, no, it was fun. I don't know what it's running price-wise, so, like, I don't know what to say, like, would it be a good deal or that? It did seem like they have a lot of research going on. It's interesting that it's all based around the units. I do think with all the automation kind of stuff they have, you might even genuinely be able to sit there and, like, get just a whole bunch of libraries you just kind of have ready. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to... What happens if I destroy the floor? I would say, so it does make me kind of wonder, like, if you could just go through, set up a bunch of libraries in ahead of time, get to just the point that you're making the behavior chips, and then, like, have some, like, master program you give your units that they can just kind of... Any unit can just do everything that needs doing. Which I think would be, like, a huge amount of effort. Like, that's a non-trivial task. But that's kind of the thing that's interesting. I think the people who, you know, find it interesting to, like, take a game and see if they can't write a bot to play the entire game. That, I could break the roof to get the crane out? Probably, but I want to see if I can break the floor for much the same purpose. It's also interesting to me that some of the floor is, like, already broken when I get there. Like, sometimes I have to cut this, like, these grids in the subfloor. Other times the grids are just already busted. Let's see, if you're looking for more games you want to add to your variety, I highly recommend Risk. It's got, like, you mean, like, Risk, like, Risk? Like a video, like a computer game version of the board game Risk? Because generally speaking, I don't play much multiplayer on here at all. And even less competitive stuff. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting Risk to be like the hyper competitive of everything. But it's just not that. I used to play tons of competitive games. It's just the number of toxic community and cheaters kind of ruined my interest in doing that. And I'm not saying that that game particularly has a problem. I have no idea. And a lot of games don't. But it's just... It kind of spoiled it that I just don't even have the interest in multiplayer competitive hardly anymore. It's one of the reasons I wish there were, when it came to the enforcement mechanisms around people cheating in games, that more was done. Like, it was interesting hearing about the rules North Korea has where you have an ID, you sign up with gaming accounts and all that, and, like, you can get in legal trouble for cheating and all that in games, and that, you know, like, violating stuff. Oh, sorry, South Korea, not North Korea. Yes, South Korea, my bad. North Korea would definitely not have access to 90% of those things. But yeah. But I found it interesting. I'm not saying it's all good news, it's a little heavy-handed. But, like, the idea that, you know, you get caught cheating in games and all that, and, like, there is actual, like, hey, that is just not allowed. Like, you get fined and everything. I'm like, you know what? That's heavy-handed, it really is. But, at the same time, I really wish there was, like, there's games I really enjoyed until, like, cheaters really got into it. and then there's just no enjoying it anymore. Like GT Online is impossible to enjoy anymore because you can't get into a lobby where there isn't a modder without, doing the shenanigans like deliberately faking a super high ping to get put in your own lobby, then inviting your friends. Like, you have to do that kind of stuff. And I understand my understanding is now they've made it so you can like just, make your private libraries and all that. I feel it might be what's needed as people feel untouchable on the internet. Yeah. Like, it doesn't need to be something extreme like, oh, you cheated a game, go to prison for the rest of your life, or something ridiculous like that. But I could see you get caught and then you get like $100 fine or something. And then you're like, don't do it again. And if necessary, like if the $100 fine, you just gotta go, okay. The problem with cheaters in GTA Online is Rockstar does absolutely nothing about it. Exactly. There's no working around it. Like, as a person playing the game, there's no escape for it. Like, that's the same thing that ruined PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds for me. Is I used to be really good at PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, got, plenty of chicken dinners and all that kind of stuff. I don't really know what we cut apart there. Like, you used to get like chicken dinners all the time in it. Like, really had a good time with it. And then the amount of cheating began to escalate, and like, it was very genuinely almost every other round, if not more often, you'd have someone who's very clearly speed hacking, and you just like watch the kills on the left side of the screen and be the same person just headshotting literally half the people in the game. And you're just like, uh-huh. And see him zip across the map. And as well as things that like you get, especially with something like that takes so long to get through all that, and like sometimes the queues are so bad that you get there and you're like, you spend, 5-10 minutes queuing, you're like, sweet, I'm gonna get the one match I'm gonna be able to squeeze in tonight. And then there's a cheater there that, waits 10 minutes to kick off their cheating. And it's like, alright, well, my whole night of playing this game is ruined. Sweet. It's funny when there's an obvious cheater, so that someone. Yeah, oh, yeah. That's something I used to do. Was that Dark Souls? You'd have people who come in and that have like the immunity cheats and all that. I usually was able to kill a decent number of them. Not always. They're dealing with an immunity cheat, but you could trick them into getting closer to edges and knock them off and that kind of stuff. And you're like, man, you cheated and you still couldn't win. So incredibly sad. But yeah, like I could, like, I mean, I don't want to have to put in like my social security number or whatever to like load a game, because I don't frankly trust them with my data storage. But I could definitely see it being a thing that like, with games that, games that you have to pay for, there's like somehow associated with like your credit card or whatever. That, you buy something in there with a credit card account, your credit card, like, you can't use it for any other accounts. Or not that you can't use it, if you get in trouble, that all the accounts associated with that card forever, no dice, you're just out. Which, you could get a new card. But it's something like that, something that's a little stickier than right now, which is like your email address is what they tie by, and you could like spin up a new email address in like 30 seconds. It says, yeah, I have to say, I've learned my lesson about cheats back in Sims 1, and how it just ends up taking the joy out of the game in the long run. Oh yeah, no, I've talked about that there's games that I've played with people that, they play the game like, oh man, this is a great game. Path of Exile is a perfect one. Oh man, that's a great game. I'm having a good time. Let me just RMT all my gear. And for those who don't know what that is, that's real money transaction. That's where you go to like some totally shady website, you enter your credit card information, and someone shows up and they give you your gear for, I don't know what the amount is, I have no idea, but like hundreds of bucks. And they'll give you like super duper high-end gear that they farmed themselves. and just give it to you. Or they'll give you currency, is usually the big one, that you'll go, you quote, buy the in-game currency for hundreds of dollars, and then you just go and trade for the best of the best gear, and then the person gets bored of playing the game like 5 seconds later. And like, man, this game, like, there's nothing here to keep me playing. Like, I don't understand. There's no end game for this game. Like, there is. You skipped it. You opened your wallet and you skipped it. Like, the grind for the gear is the game. Not to mention, a lot of the places you get the, because RMTing is against just about pretty much any game that's got a community's rules, the people who do that get suspended all the time. So they're going to do, like, all the cheats they have to do it, which means they're the ones who are running bots, they're the ones who are, doing the hack things, they're doing dupes, like, whatever they can figure out. So when it comes to stuff like messing with the game's economy, like, they're usually the ones that are really kind of at fault. Path of Exile has some stuff they do to handle that that's mostly okay. Honestly, of the games I played, it's one of the ones that's not as bad. Not like World of Warcraft was back in the day, where you log in and the first thing you see is buy WoW gold, buy, whatever. And the one guy you just bought all your gear from, he just made a mint from your stupidity. Just so you'd stop playing. Yeah, it's a thing. Like, it's the whole thing. It's like, you ruin the game for yourself. You're reinforcing all sorts of things that's bad for the game, like the whole economy and whatnot. And I understand. I've known people who are MT, and some of them was like, I don't have the time to play the game properly, like, between work and kids and all that. It's just not a thing. Yes. All the things breaking. So it's like, I get that. But at the same time, it's like, right, but you're not even going to get to enjoy it, and you're going to take all that money you're putting all that work into, and you're going to burn it to get to enjoy the game. It's like you're better off finding something that fits in your time frame, which sucks. Like, and I can appreciate that with the streaming thing going on, because I'm kind of in the same boat, that I really enjoy Path of Exile, but I can't really stream it. So I have that whole same thing that I just can't put in the time to play that game as much as I'd like. I still do, but it's just I don't get nearly as far as I used to. But that's fine. That is the nature of content creation. Sometimes you're gonna have to decide what games you do have time for and don't have time for. And you also have to be careful that you don't just play one game unless you intend to play only one game. That if you are intending to move around, you gotta move around between games. Because we've probably all seen the content creator who has the game they play, like, it's their game that they're known for, and they're burnt out on it, but it's what everyone comes for. And so when they play something else, their numbers just absolutely go through the floor. And so they feel forced to play that game. And so they start their stream, and they're all hyped, they're all excited, they're like, oh, hey, chat, like, how's it going? I'm so excited today, like, we're gonna be doing all this stuff, it's gonna be great. You're gonna be awesome. And then they boot up the game and their, like, soul leaves their body. That they're just so passed over it that it's just, they can't even kind of, not fake excitement, but they can't even, like, push themselves to be interested or excited in it anymore. And you're just kind of like, you don't want to be there. Well, here's the wood we were looking for. Is that floor here should wrap up the wood. No idea what we're doing about the plastic. I'm guessing one of these rooms, like, there'll be a wall or a floor or something that qualifies as plastic. Okay. I know, I'm trying to hit that. It's fine. I'll come back for it. Let's see, did you already lift out the pallet? I have not. I'm honestly just like taking apart the bottom of the ship, hoping I can collapse the whole top, because they do have a mechanic, it seems, that stuff, like if I have stuff that's attached but it's being supported by the thing I'm taking apart, that'll fall apart too. Might be plastic? No, I think you're probably right. Yeah, so some of these broke because they were supported by these floors. Some of them didn't because I think they're still up against the walls. But it is interesting that I'm sure you'd figure out like what you need to do to cause like lots of stuff to collapse in not too many steps. Yeah, I got stuff that collapsed out here too. There's a ladder over there. Okay. This is being really a booger about detecting that hit. Alright. So it does seem like there is, So I still don't get what supposedly I'm taking apart with this. Like, there's nothing on either side of it, but it is a cut point it's showing me. So I'm probably just wasting my time. But it makes a really impressive bang when I cut it. So, you know. Who knows? I might have to break these apart as well, since this connects it to the outside of the ship from the side. Alright. Yeah, and we're almost up to 4,000... Oh. Pound, or kilograms, and it still is like, nah, that's cool. Okay, so there's... Basically, gotta take this apart, too. All right. I think I heard a lot more bang apart than I thought. All right, weirdly that panel popped out. Okay, so I think it's because this portal door is here, it's just having a problem figuring it out. So let's just knock this door out real fast. That floor is plastic? I guess it was. I hadn't even noticed. There we go. So we're getting close to having the rest of this floor knocked out. Yeah, it's just aluminum for the last contract, which might be some of these sheet walls might be the aluminum. Alright. So I think we're getting close to the point that we're going to start seeing large chunks coming apart the ship, because I am knocking out all the floors. And we're, like, taking apart all the stuff that holds it up. What I'm also impressed is that the idea that we have this giant ship that I've been taking the whole thing apart of, and we're just putting this in our truck. Just casually, all of this fits in that truck. Okay, so I can't take apart this spot, so I think this wall has to go. Just casually 4 tons in your truck? Yeah, I know, right? Look, I upgraded the suspension. As if that's the actual problem. Alright. Okay. So you might be able to get it moving. Good luck getting it to stop. Yeah. And bunches of pieces of floor are coming up when I pull this down. Like, it's hard to tell what's considered connected to what from the point of when I take it apart and I knock it out, like, a bunch of stuff falls apart. Because these floors I keep having fall out again and again. Like, in that wall, I didn't saw those. They just kind of fell out as well. But that's okay. I'm assuming something you would learn how the game figures stuff out in time. All right. Oh, I missed those rivets. Well, it just ejected its frame at me. Yeah, so all these broken fell out. We definitely don't need to take everything apart. It's just, we gotta figure out the system of, like, what are the things that cause other things to be part of that. Because, like, all these frames just popped out as well. That one's still attached. I think this one we just saw out. Because they're attached to the outside of the ship. Alright. And the idea with this is before I take any of this and I try to sell it, we're just going to go right to the tool upgrades and upgrade everything we can. Alright, so we've got just sheet metal attaching us to this side for the most part. Well, not sheet metal, diamond plate. Okay. I appreciate also that you don't have to, like, replace your flashlight's batteries. As I sit here, I haven't turned my flashlight back off since we started. Our character's been doing this for, like, 5 or 6 in-game days with no breaks. Alright. I keep just waiting for the satisfying everything coming apart. Because so much of this has nothing supporting it once we get these frames done. Alright. Because, like, I think I want, before the stream ends, I think I want to finish this one. And I want to be able to just see how much of a difference the tool upgrades make. Not do a whole second ship. But just get an idea of how big of a deal it is. Because I think that'll be the big thing that decides how fun this game is long term, is if those upgrades are meaningful, that'll be big. If they're not, like it's just like the tiniest little sliver better, that'd be unfortunate, is the way I'll phrase it. Alright. Because I do know the hand upgrade increased my carry weight, so I don't have to leave as often. And all of them mentioned having like a higher power or whatever, which is I assume is like how fast it cuts through things, how many hits it takes for your hammer to knock stuff down, that kind of thing. Okay, so a lot came down to that one. That's good. We got all the supports in the middle popped off. Several of the tiles in the ceiling popped off. Alright, we've got these. Still no aluminum, though. It could be that when we crane away, because they pointed out like craning away the sides of the ship, it could be when that happens it's made out of aluminum. Yeah, so all the floors fell out. So what I am curious about is I see the 2 torch points on the front and the back of that room. I'm wondering if I cut those out, if it'll be like a main support goes. Just trying to deal with all the scraps before we tear into more where I can't find where I'm going. Alright, because we got this one.
Thank you Randall for 1812 for gifting a sub to Marine 307.
Thank you, Randall Thor, for gifting that sub to Marine. Marine, you now have some nice advertisement-free viewing as well as access to the emotes, whether you want them or not. So thank you so much, Randall, for the continued support. It does mean a lot that you'd support the channel so much. So thank you for that. Well, that was underwhelming. I was really hoping I'd torch through that and like the outer half would pop off or something. It's fine. Okay.
Thank you Randall for 1812 for gifting a sub to S2D_Vitez.
Thank you, Randall Thor, for gifting the sub to S2D Vitez. Vitez, you now have yourself some nice advertising-free viewing as well as access to the emotes, whether you want them or not. So thank you again for that, Randor, for the continued support. I really do appreciate all that support. It does mean a lot. So thank you for that. It wouldn't be possible to keep doing this full time if it wasn't for that kind of support. That said, like, everyone here does help, just for the record. Tuning in, congratulations, you're helping. But, yeah. Yeah, being able to escape the ads, yeah. It is one of those things that it's kind of unfortunate that Twitch, like, that's just the way it is. Yes! Yes! Collapse! Why did you not collapse? The rivet that could. And now I pick up everything. Because the entire guts of that room just fell out. And I didn't have to saw any of it. I can't wait to upgrade my hands. The hammer upgrade? Yeah, it'd either be the hammer and or the hands, because the hands will let me carry more and I can pick up stuff faster. The hammer, like, all the rivets you break, feels like a good investment. It does feel like the torch is probably the least important, just because of how infrequently you need it. Okay. So much fell apart. And the big thing is that definitely that top area, if I remove the right thing, I suspect that'll all come down as one big mess. That's what I want to. I'm really just trying to like cut all the supports and all that to just watch the whole thing give out and drop. Alright. So that's all that. Alright. Am I missing a piece? That's fine. Alright, so we'll just cut across here. Get the outside plate here. We'll pop in here, knock these ones out. There's no rivets over there. I keep calling them rivets. I don't know if these are supposed to be rivets or weld points. They're calling them connectors, but it's not specific what they are. Like they look kind of like weld spots. Heavy elements. The heavy elements on the ship will collapse when you destroy the floors that hold them in place. In order to not lose any valuable elements, destroy the element's connectors and lift it up with the crane before you work on the ship. Oh, so I destroyed the big pile of stuff. You know what? I don't care. That was satisfying. I got the giant thing off the roof. It was just the pallet of whatever that was down there. Alright. So that means so far as like when I'm doing this in the future, if I play a whole bunch of this game or something like that, the idea would be cut out and make the crane stuff happen first, then worry about all the rest. Which I'm sure is the whole thing that becomes not puzzle, but a thing you gotta like address later. Is going, okay, I've got this thing in the middle of the ship, way down in the guts of it. How do I get to that to crane it out without compromising the ship itself? Which I actually don't think that'll be that big of a deal. Yeah. With that pile didn't have aluminum? I mean, the contracts I think are just bonus money. It wouldn't be that big a deal if we missed out. Yeah, my assumption is when I took out those walls, the floor below the packages is what gave. Because even though there was the rivets in the middle of the floor still holding in place, we took all the area that was outside of that holding it up. truck casually has 6,500 pounds or kilograms in it. Okay, so you've got all this. Alright. What might still be holding us? We still have the weird plates that go to nothing. They make loud, scary bangs when I cut them. Same with these. I think the idea is these are segments that if you had like the full-size ship and you cut those away, it's how you separate the ship out for everything. But I don't know, so I'm going to cut them all, so we're going to find out. I was assuming there'd be an equivalent on the other side. Alright, so I think the last thing holding the whole thing together is just dealing with this one set over here on the side. Yeah, so just grab you. Yeah, you can see there's the other half of it there. All right. Okay. Not much more holding us. Interestingly enough, I have like the one support right here that's still in place. All right. And everyone knows that you're taking stuff apart, you should definitely stand under it. Literal tons of metal, you should absolutely stand under it when working on it. Clearly nothing would go wrong with that. All right. Yes! Yes! Mayhem! That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to do that earlier. Like, I wanted to be a thing earlier. Now, we spend the next 10 minutes picking it all up. I want to see, like, the really big ship, because they have a ship that's for sale for, like, $2,000 versus this one is, like, $10. I want to see like a full-size cruise ship, and you just slowly work your way around the outside of the cruise ship, detaching all of the outer supports, and then you give it a little bunk, and then just watch physics. All right. Just watch your computer crash. If it doesn't crash, I would be disappointed. I can just call the crane now? All right. All right. Okay, I see. All right. Have you seen the picture of the cruise ship in the graveyard in Turkey? Are you talking about the one that was like the fully complete ship that like they ran out of money? They're gonna get rid of, because I'm pretty sure the Disney Cruise Line bought that one ship. That was like the fully completed ship that was gonna get scrapped in the construction yard as built in, because it's like this most ridiculous ship. All right. There's like 4 or 5 being broken down piece by piece. I mean, it'd definitely be interesting. So it's saying I'm missing connectors. And just judging by the fact that like these are the main frame pieces here, like here. So I cut the bottom there. There isn't a cut point here that I see. I really hope that after like 2 or 3 upgrades, can you imagine the distances this guy could get with proper throwing technique? Yeah. Like this man should be making more than a couple $100 for like literally days and days and days of work. Horrible work that he's exposing himself to God knows what. Definitely asbestos and that kind of stuff. Alright. Where is the attachment point that you're still attached? Oh, I see. There's 2 attachment points here. Gemus, super strength? Yeah, okay. So in the future, I'm clearly intend to cut those from above. Alright, let's cut this one. Yeah. Well, it's not only casually throws like a 30-yard like boxes, throwing 60 kilograms 30 yards. It's like grabbing a bag of water softener salt and just hucking it. All right, I want to see this crane. That's a demolition charge. Crane is busy. Like, how many days straight for that total 8 tons? I have no idea. Our character's probably been at this for like a solid week and a half or something like that. Alright, so you're still doing your thing. We got 150 kilograms of metal. Alright. If the real shame is the Sweats Fiber is such an extreme health hazard, this stuff is really good insulation. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it was seen as, like, the miracle material when it was, like, in its use. There's a reason it was everywhere. It wasn't, you know, companies trying to do awful things. They're like, oh my goodness, this stuff is amazing for insulation. We should use it for all of that. And, you know, 20, 30 years went by without major problems. And then, you know, a bunch of people who had been working around it started getting sick and were like, oh, this stuff is actually really bad. It just takes a long time to get there. I remember reading about the, I used to work with a guy that there's a website for people who get diagnosed with the cancer related to asbestos. That he worked with a group that set this website up, that the idea is you get that news, and usually by the time you get the news, you know, you've got weeks to months to live tops. And there's a lot of stuff, if you're trying to do right by your family, you have to kind of do it the last second. That the entire business is like, you got diagnosed with it kind of thing. And it's like, here's all the things you need to do. Like, we have people to do all these things. Like, to get you what you need as fast as you can get it done. As well as, like, you know, all that. And, you know, there's people who'll be like, oh, that's taking advantage. So I was like, well, no, the problem is someone has to offer the service of, hey, you're dying. You've got not enough time to take care of it. Let me line up absolutely everything you need, so at least you can spend the rest of your time with your family and not dealing with all, you know, making sure your will is in order, making sure this is in order, making sure that is in order. Let's see. They knew it was awful before they stopped using it. It was banned in European countries almost 20 years before it was in the US. Yeah, that didn't surprise me. So, you cannot reach this. Is it because of this tiny little speck here and here? Yep. That little speck was just a little too much for it. It's like, get off the craneable element. I understand. Let's see. Tomorrow at this time, the company will be at my home to check for asbestos. Wonder what they'll find. Definitely not, you know. Oh, did it take all the scrap away that was sitting on top of it too? Do I still get credit? I still get credit for that, right? Oh, God. Are you just gonna spill piles of everything? Did it destroy that material? No. Oh, there goes the rest of it. Note to self. Take all the materials. Oh, actually, it gave me 800. Well, maybe just the normal amount. Note to self. Take the junk off of the things before you crane it away. I was kind of curious. Part of me was expecting just the craneable stuff to be like laying here. Go for a ride. I'm gonna try it. I think what'll happen is the crane will stop until, like, we move on, kind of thing. Yeah, no, and there's still places who have asbestos here in the US, like lots of them. They're not, like, you're not installing any new. It's just, as long as you leave it alone, it's kind of okay. That the process of removing it makes it more dangerous. So it's kind of one of those things that, like, when you have to remove a floor that has asbestos under it, you've got to deal with it. You go through the whole shebang that is. But until you do, like, you just leave the floor intact. That's the things I ran into when I worked in retail. The store took a bunch of hurricane damage, and like at some point it had been mostly like cleared out of the asbestos, but they had, done the thing where like they had their flooring and they put flooring on top of their flooring and they put their flooring on top of that flooring and they put the flooring on top of that flooring. And so you ended up having that they're like, okay, we want to fix our flooring properly. Like, we're doing this major rework under store after all this damage. Let's fix our flooring properly. And they had just begun and went, stop everything, stop it all. We're not doing the flooring. We found asbestos. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Put stuff on top of it. Layering is fine. Let's see. When I was a teacher, like, a very dodgy demolition specialist who took asbestos roof off the neighbor's house. 84-year-old grandpa was standing on the roof with an angle grinder, taking a big gouge out of the roof. The big white puff. Yeah. There are people who just don't care. We went so far as calling the building inspector, but he covered it up. Didn't know what to do about it. Yeah. Don't want to know about it. Yeah. And I've known people who would 100% be like, who would be absolutely fine hiring someone under the table to do the removal for that kind of thing, just to not deal with it. Let's see, used to work for an office, for an insulation company. We dealt with that stuff quite a bit in Rual's. Yeah. Tell me, let's see, brake pads are made of asbestos and had a problem staying on the corner road. I mean, they were made around with them once upon a time. I don't think they still make brake pads out of asbestos. Yeah, alright, so we've got this. Alright. Get off the crane element. So yeah, so the crane stopped operating. The moment I jumped on here, the crane stops working. I'm gonna see if I can trick it. But yeah. We get people calling up like, hey, can we pay you more than it's worth to come for a quick repair? I'm not stupid. You're calling me because that's a oh! That went up way faster than I was anticipating. I thought it was gonna take a moment, so I missed my ride. That, considering the weight of that thing just went. Now, it didn't seem to drop any of the parts until last moment, so my concern in all that weight is out of the map where I can't reach it. Because I think it all fell off over there. Yeah, it's not going to be reachable. That's a solid wall. They fell off over there when it stopped. They got thrown. All right. Nine tons in an almost broke down truck. Yep. All right. So first, let's go to the computer and turn our thing. Have I ever played Hardspace Shipbreaker? Yep. We played an entire run through the whole story on the channel before. It was actually like, been that. All right. Contracts. That's right. Contracts. Claim. I don't really understand. So claim at the computer. Finished. I wish you told me where to claim it. The contract. Oh, there we go. Yes, you wanted a little bit of aluminum. I don't have it. We took the whole thing apart. It must have been the pallet that got destroyed. Alright. $8 has just been transferred into your account. The other 50K went to your health insurance premiums. Something like that. Alright. So, meanwhile, I need to sort this out. At the recycling center. Sort all. Because I don't have the aluminum, I don't know what happened to it. And the ship's gone, so it's not like I'm still getting it. Alright, so we got red packages. Tools, maybe? Hit the big red button. Oh. I missed one. You can choose the store again. Combo money bonus, $5.20. If you leave without sorting missed items, you'll lose 50% of missed items. Oh, okay. What? What? Oh, it's the tape. It threw me off because the barrels were blue. I was like, what do you want from me, man? Alright. So, upgrade our tools.
Namaste.
So we got level 3 hammer. Let's actually go right to our gloves. Level 2 gloves. We're short on liquids. Yeah, so used almost all of that for upgrading tools. Let's go to where we sell all our stuff and sell whatever's left over.
Namaste, my friend.
Heck yeah. Well, actually, the metal's pretty good. I mean, I guess a full week's worth getting a couple $100 isn't, I mean, that's not good.
आप क्या चाहते हैं, my friend?
Alright. And what we'll do is I'll run over here. I'm not going to go through a whole nother ship right now, but I am going to buy another ship and then use the remainder of the money. So we bought this one already. We're going to scrap it because there's nothing left of it. So we have the mad ship. So the next one is the Green Rex. The legend says that it belonged to a crazy scientist who was experimenting with lizards. People say that he raised the tiny dinosaurs, but this is all that's left of the ship. Scrapping ships in any quick way. Right, I understand that, but like this game, like how much effort the guy is putting into it, it's like, you're getting ripped off, man. How big do they get? So we're buying ships that cost $30 that look like a single tiny section of a hull. So if you look at that, I got like a little section of a hull. They have what looks like a full bulk tanker for $2,000. So I think you're talking like a full size like tanker ship, not like a full say like super cruise ship or whatever, but
मेरे स्टोर में आपका स्वागत।
all right, so we still have $260. So let's go over here real fast.
Hello.
Talk to you.
खरीदना चाहते
Let's pick up seeds. Item picking. Capacity. So we'll go. Spend all our money. And all our money's gone. What's this? There's a plus here. What's the plus mean? Okay. $40 for a pair of gloves and $40 for a new ship. Hey man, the ship's a fixer-upper. And the gloves are name brand. Okay, so we're not going to dig into this too far, because this will take me like another hour, and I'm already over what I normally stream. But, let's just go up here real fast. Was that ground make-believe? Oh, our hammer did get nicer. We have like an actual claw hammer now. Our saw still looks like awful, but slightly better. Our gloves still, they say they're gloves, but they don't really exist. Oh goodness, I jumped way farther than I thought. Alright. Oh wait, what am I doing? I have the power. That thing's mighty hard to use. I'm just trying to get to the top of the ship so I can start banging on some things. To see how much of a difference this all makes. Oh, it's whatever. Alright. So the camera's the one we upgrade the most. My hope is we'll go bang. Okay, so yeah, it's 2 hits now. We can carry 80 kilograms, so that's good. Let's see. Huto hands, Clawheart. What? I don't understand all what you said there. Get out of my way, door. Who two hands a claw hammer? Someone who's, I guess, trying to disassemble a ship with it. I mean, to be fair, that is no, I mean it's a bit of a beefy claw hammer. All right, with all that said, we're not taking apart this whole ship right now because this is gonna take forever. But that said, that was Ship Graveyard Simulator 2. I actually think that's not bad. It's got a drive off the map. Yeah, we could drive off into the sunset. Drive off into the sunset. But yeah, so it's actually a pretty decent game. I'm imagining Invisible Wall. Yep, Invisible Wall. I just ricocheted off the water. No surprise there. The rest of the map has very distinct wall around it. But, F the horn. Okay, and I tried the radio. It was not much to listen to. But all that said, so this has actually been not a bad game at all. It definitely is not, like, super duper polished. It's definitely not, like, you know, the greatest game of any respect to that. But, like, what's there is not bad. The upgrade system, it feels weird they use the materials versus just, like, straight up money, but that's okay. I don't think it's a bad mechanic. But it doesn't feel unreasonable. Like, you do have, like, the first ship takes you a long time to take apart. As you saw, we spent probably, like, an hour and a half on it. Probably, yeah, about an hour and a half on it. But, with the tools upgrade, like you saw the first time, it's taken me about 5 hits with the hammer to break a set of rivets, and now it's 2. So the tool upgrades aren't bad. I do wonder how fast, like, maybe when you get over the thing, it just, you start swinging faster kind of thing, or you hit an area of effect. There was one thing I wanted to check. If I pick up stuff, do I pick up multiple things at a time now? Because it mentions 2. No. Because that's the one thing I'd like to change, is that, I don't mind this being, like, your lowest level, that you pick everything up one by one by one. I would want, just for the sake of my fingers, that, you know, you get to the point just after, like, 2 or 3 upgrades of the gloves, that you kind of grab and you area of effect, and, like, maybe the area of effect gets bigger, just to spare you. If anyone's played Hotel Renovator, exactly like that, where you walk into the room, you hold the button, just kind of grab and all that. You can't press and hold? No, here, I'll show you. There's one thing. Okay, so I can press that. I'm holding. Press that. I'm holding. Yeah, so that'd be the one thing is just, I would want that, you know, either I can press and hold and you just have, like, that slow grab animation, but, like, I can press and hold it, or that you can, like, as you upgrade, you press and hold and you'll grab, like, an area, or, like, you know, it grabs 5 things or whatever. And that's not because of, like, the time thing on it. It's just clicking and grabbing on every single individual item is a little annoying. Like, it's not the end of the world or anything, but I've just been spoiled with so many other, like, renovation kind of games where, like, they start out and you have to, like, sweep the one little spot, and then later on you get a thing where you just, like, blast the sweeper across the whole room as you upgrade it, just, you know, to make it less cumbersome. But yeah, so this has been fun. I don't think I'll stream this again. It's a bit on the slow side for streaming, but that said, for playing it, this does seem like the kind of game that you can, like, get to the end of the night, you're mentally exhausted from work, you just want to, you know, chill, so you start walking around banging walls out of ships and all that, throwing them in your truck. I do like that they're gonna have more carry weight. I'm hoping that when you, like, max out your carry weight, it's something ridiculous, like you can carry 1,000 kilograms or something, so that, like, an entire ship part takes, you know, only 3 or 4 throws or whatever, just to get that like, the repetitive monotonous stuff out. Anyways, with all that said, I'm gonna stop the recording side for YouTube, because I'll post this up on YouTube at some point in the future.